Coming up on the Appalachian Wireless Sports Overtime Saturday night, the UPike Bears.
Offensively, they're putting up a lot of points.
The Cumberland Patriots.
It's a must-win game for us, and for them, to win the East Division Conference Championship is still there for them, so it's a must-win for them.
It's our game of the week.
Lofting it for Williams. He's got it for the touchdown.
We'll go to Williamsburg for highlights. Plus, UVA Wise goes for its first win this season in Fairmont, West Virginia. See if the Cavs could get one against Fairmont State. And homecoming in Richmond. EKU hosts Tennessee State. All that and more coming up. Are you ready?
Side pressure, ball's loose. Jermaine Washington stripped it loose. The Cardinals are still on their feet and rambling down inside the 20. Rankins, touchdown, Louisville.
We're ready. Let's start the show.
Coach Robert Lucas, Somerset High School. Sports Overtime starts now.
Welcome into the Appalachian Wireless Sports Overtime Saturday night. As always, alongside Lauren Cash for the second night in a row. That's good news.
That is such a treat for you. I loved in the open there, you're giving love to the big guy for Louisville.
We're going to see those highlights in a little bit. Those were really good. I think you got those set of highlights. Hey, first we have Kentucky coming up, but what else we got on the show tonight?
Yeah, we got Appalachian Wireless Game of the Week. UPike going to Cumberland's, Union welcoming in Kentucky Christian. Both of them winless. Somebody's got to win.
Somebody got to win. Well, tonight somebody has to win the Kentucky-Mississippi State game first. Of course, the Cats have not beat Mississippi State since 2008. On the road, here we go. Let's go to Starkville. When they won in 2008, the game was in Starkville. Second drive for Kentucky, Stanley, boom, Williams from 9 yards out. Oh, but wait a minute. He dives, but he's not in. Take another look. The knee is down before he crosses the plane. But what Kentucky has been great at all season long is scoring in the red zone. The Wildcats have scored on 21 of 22 times in the red zone. Shannon Dawson calls Patrick Toll's number, and is he in or is he not?
Patty Ice is in.
It looks like everything crosses. The officials would review this, though. It looks like it, and it's good. So Kentucky goes up 7-0 early. Bulldogs drive down the field, though, on the ensuing possession. And it's Dak Prescott from a couple yards out. Fifth rushing touchdown of the season. Game tied at 7 apiece. Let's go second quarter. Dak's got legs. He's also got a nice arm. He hasn't thrown an interception all season long. DeRunya Wilson, 13 yards for the score. Blow the kiss. 14-10. Dogs lead, but Dak, he isn't perfect.
He's not?
No. 6 minutes to go in the half. Prescott. What an interception. Throws deep, and he's picked off by Chris Westry, the freshman. First INT for Dak in 289 pass attempts. That snaps the third longest streak in SEC history. However, the Cats didn't get anything out of that. A minute and a half left to go, and Dak gets something out of that. Brandon Holloway, the dude only weighs like $160. 5 plays, 69-yard drive. Mississippi State up 21-10. Kentucky trying to score before the half. Tolles goes deep, and he throws an interception, but this one was a doozy. Tavise Calhoun, what a grab. Take another look. That's like Garrett Johnson S from last week.
Yeah, it would have been a beauty if it was thrown to the right team.
Yeah, it was a beauty to the other team. And instead, look at this. It's Dak. I mean, they scored 2 touchdowns in less than 2 minutes, basically. Woo! Tolles, he started 7-7 on the night. He was 6 of 19, though, after that pick. As we go to the Highlands Black and Blue Clinic scoreboard, this game just going final. Kentucky loses 42-16. That drops them to 4-3 on the year. So up next for the football Cats, Tennessee on Halloween night.
Yeah, that's next Saturday night inside Commonwealth Stadium, 7:30 kick time on the SEC Network. Last year, the Volunteers defeated Kentucky 50-16. The Wildcats have lost 29 out of the last 30 to the Vols, including 5 straight. Kentucky and their streaks to SEC teams, it's a struggle sometimes. Still to come, more college football highlights as we go around the SEC.
That's right. Plus, I was in Richmond. We haven't mentioned the EKU Colonels yet. Of course, they play Tennessee State today on homecoming. Highlights of the Colonels and Tigers next. Oh boy, the Cumberland's Patriots back in the national rankings this week, ranked 24th, entering this afternoon's game.
Yeah, the Patriots welcoming in the U-Pike Bears, trying to stay perfect in Mid-South Conference play. The U-Pike Bears visiting number 24 Cumberland's in a Mid-South-East Division game. Patriots up 28-7 at the half and adding to the lead in the third. Adam Craig from 2 yards out makes it 35-7 UC in the third quarter. Ensuing Bears drive, R.J. Roseman throwing deep to the end zone, and look at the grab by Eddie Miller III, the diving grab for the touchdown, 32 yards, and that caps off our Falls Auto Group drive of the night. Beginning on their own 25-yard line, Roseman leads the Bears 75 yards in 7 plays, taking 2 minutes and 44 seconds off the clock. A nice mixture of the run and pass, and the beautiful throw to Miller for the 32-yard touchdown to cap it all off. Bears' second score of the game. Next, U-Pike drive. Following a Patriots touchdown, Quan Weaver takes the handoff, and no one can bring him down. 21 yards for the score. U-Pike down 41-22. To the fourth, the pass-happy Patriots, something you're not really used to hearing saying, going to the air. Craig drops it in perfectly to Wendell Williams, who jogs in for the 44-yard touchdown pass. And we go to the Highlands Black and Blue Clinic scoreboard. Number 24 Cumberland's has no problem with the U-Pike Bears, winning 48-29, improving to 3-0 in the Mid-South Conference East Division.
It means a lot. We're just thankful. Shows our resiliency. Had some adversity early. I think a lot of the stuff today really reflects the off season and how hard we worked in the weight room. I thought we were a lot stronger, a lot more physical, a lot more able to control the ball, control the line of scrimmage. They got a really, really good offense, and the best defense against them is to keep the ball. And I think we did that. I'm proud of our guys and just thankful.
EKU is ranked 14th in the FCS coaches poll. Dean Hood's team hosting Tennessee State. Homecoming in Richmond. First quarter, no score. Ronald Butler in trouble. Marquise Pitton gets credit for the sack. Third sack of the season for Pitton. Colonel's ball now. Benny Coney on the first offensive play from scrimmage. He finds the Pineville boy. Ben Maiden, the former Bell County Bobcat, catches it. 22-yard gain there. 4 plays later, Coney back in the shotgun again, and he rolls out. And he throws a dart, but dude was wide open. Brian Green, 13 yards on the score. EKU up 7-0. That drive takes up 2:02 on the clock. That's it. Second quarter, Butler picked off this time by Keontae Northington. Second INT for Keontae on the season. EKU didn't convert a score off the turnover later. Now 10-0 Colonels. Ethan Thomas takes the handoff, and he gone. 80 yards for the score for the freshman. 18 carries, 149 total yards on the ground for Thomas on the day. Go to the Highlands Black and Blue Clinic scoreboard. Eastern Kentucky, 9 straight homecoming wins now. They defeat Tennessee State 45-21.
All right, 2 winless teams going at it at Williamson Stadium. Homecoming for the Union Bulldogs taking on Kentucky Christian. Bulldogs get the ball first, and they're in the red zone. Chandler Whittlesey hands it off to LaVance Anderson. He bulldozes his way down to the 1-yard line. Chandler Whittlesey would punch it in on the very next play, 7-0 Union. How about Union's special teams defense getting things done here? They get a hand on this KCU field goal. Will Reynolds returns it to the Bulldog 30. Decent field position for the Union Bulldog offense.
You got lit up there at the end.
Same drive for Union. Whittlesey rolls out, takes a huge hit, but spots Zach Martin wide open for 6 more. Bulldogs led 21-14 at the half, but as we go to the Highlands Black and Blue Clinic scoreboard, KCU notches their first one of the season, 45-38. Anderson rushed for, get this, 222 yards and 2 touchdowns. Whittlesey, 121 yards on the ground and 1 touchdown. In the loss.
That's pretty good, but you got to win those, right?
Yeah.
All right, Division II football. Let's go up to my neck of the woods, just a half hour down from where I was born. I was actually born in Fairmont. Fairmont State and UVA-wise. FSU rolling on their first drive. Terrell Charles, touchdown. 7-0 Falcons. Fairmont recovers a fumble in the ensuing kickoff. And Charles again. It's 14-0 after that 3-yard score. Cavs answer on their next possession. Javonte Latney caps a 14-play, 75-yard drive off with a 2-yard score. It's 14-6. Wise staying in it. In the second, that Stanza with a 74-yard drive capped off by Daniel Lewis. And then Fairmont would kick a field goal to take a 24-13 lead. Next Cavaliers possession, that ball was tipped and deflected right into James Cousins' hands. Falcons again with it in the final minute of the half. Cooper Hibbs looking long, and he got somebody. Devin Garnett, 34 yards on the score. It's 34-20 at that time, but as we go to the Highlands Black and Blue Clinic scoreboard, Fairmont State runs away with it 41-32. Let's stay on the Highlands Black and Blue Clinic scoreboard. Morehead State, the Eagles defeat Campbell, the Fighting Camels, 31-27 down in North Carolina today.
You just really wanted to say Campbell, the Fighting Camels.
Coming
up next on the Appalachian Wireless Sports Overtime Saturday night, we'll go around the SEC and check in with UT Alabama and Auburn, Arkansas.
Yeah, and one Little League football player learns a valuable life lesson on the field, all because of one special boy.
I'm Ray Hill. And you're watching Sports of Overtime.
The Tennessee Volunteers coming off a bye week, and they're given the daunting task of playing Alabama down in Tuscaloosa.
Yeah, the 8th-ranked Crimson Tide, they have won 8 in a row versus the Vols entering Saturday. Here we go, 8th-ranked Alabama hosting Tennessee down in Tuscaloosa. Bama strikes first in the form of Derrick Henry. Hey, you got to do more than that to tackle him. 20 yards on the handoff. Crimson Tide go up 7-0 in the first. Tennessee, though, counters through the air. Josh Dobbs. That's an 11-yard touchdown pass to Josh Smith. We're tied at 7. Vols down 13-7 in the fourth. Jalen Hurd. That's a big boy. He gives Tennessee the lead 14-13, less than 6 minutes to play. 2.5 now left to go, and it's Henry again. Yeah, they've grown big down there in Alabama. 19-14 lead after the failed 2-point conversion. Vols looking to drive down the field for the win, but on the 2nd and 24, Dobbs is hit, the ball's loose, and that's into an Alabama player. And that's what you see. 9 in a row. Alabama wins it over Tennessee 19-14.
A wild one in Fayetteville. Auburn at Arkansas. Closing seconds of the fourth. Auburn down 3. Ricardo Lewis makes a spectacular diving catch, sets up a field goal. Overtime. Triple OT now. Auburn up 6, going for 2. Sean White to a wide open Melvin Ray, 46-38. But the Razorbacks would answer. Cody Walker back within 2. Arkansas going for 2. Got it. We go to overtime, number 4. Brandon Allen hooking up with Drew Morgan from 25 yards out. That 2-point conversion was good. It's 54-46. Last chance here now for Auburn on 4th down. Lewis can't come down with the pass, and Arkansas survives at home in quadruple overtime, 54-56 over the Auburn Tigers.
I just love how the highlights were so good, we just went right into overtime.
Yeah.
It was great. Marshall at home hosting North Texas, the Mean Green. First drive for Marshall. Remy Watson takes the handoff and goes 26 down to the North Texas 21-yard line for the first down. Later in the drive, Chase Litton finds Justin Hunt for the 1-yard score. The Thundering Herd go up 7-0 on the Mean Green. Now 10-0 Marshall. Litton, a little short cross route there to Hunt again, and he's down 35 yards for a huge gain. Then Watson finishes the deal. 10-yard run for another Marshall score, and the Thundering Herd beat North Texas in Huntington 30-13.
Hey, Jamie, let's go cheerleader bowling in Death Valley in the pouring
Hey,
rain for the
Fournette.
LSU
Hey.
Western Kentucky game. Tigers up 7-0, but tops with an answer. Brandon Dowdy, the shovel pass to Anthony Walls. We're tied up at 7. Now, WKU did a decent job of holding Leonard Fournette in check early, but they gave up the big plays a lot. Here's one of them, Brandon Harris, the 67-yard pass completion to Travin Durrell. Western Kentucky did all they could to keep it interesting, but they take their paycheck and lose 48-20.
It's a good way to put it. Bobby Petrino and the Louisville Cardinals hosting the Boston College Eagles. There's slow-mo Bobby P for you. First quarter, Cardinals on the move. The give goes to Reggie Bonifine, and he carries it down to the 20. That's a gain of 28. Lamar Jackson, the freshman, caps off the drive, little 4-yard keeper. Louisville goes up 7-0 in the first. Let's go second quarter. This is when the fireworks happen. Cardinals force a fumble, and here we go. Sheldon Rankin says, yummy. I'm taking this thing back. You are not stopping that guy. 46 yards for the big man, 14-0 Louisville. Uh-oh, block punt, though, later in the second. Elijah Robinson end up walking it on in. But guess what? Louisville, and let me get his name right again, Sheldon Rankins, the Cardinals, they win 17-14 over Boston College. Let's stay on the Highlands Black and Blue Clinic scoreboard. The SEC, it's Vanderbilt 10, Missouri 3. The Ole Miss Rebels, they bounced back from a tough loss last week and defeat Texas A&M 23-3.
The West Whitesburg Yellow Jackets Little League football team finished out the regular season with an undefeated record, but what happened in their game against Jenkins earlier this month is what these 9 and 10-year-olds will remember for a lifetime. For most Little League football teams, an undefeated season is what dreams are made of. But for the West Whitesburg Yellow Jackets, when they look back on this successful season, the number in the win column won't be the first memory that comes to mind.
We didn't think that he was going to get to play.
Clayton Hall is a member of the Yellow Jackets and loves playing the game of football. But this 9-year-old is wise beyond his years.
It's very important, and I'm glad that it's on there. It reminds me of Brian in the games.
Clay has a twin brother named Braylon. Braylon has autism, and he has a very important job during the games.
To be a water boy.
Water boy, motivational speaker. He's been a little of everything. Doctor, he'll do it all for you.
Bray does all he can on the sideline to lift up his teammates during the games. But during one particular game,
1st and 10 inside their own 41.
At 3 minutes and 56 seconds left in the game,
his teammates were the ones lifting him up.
Braylon's dad and I had no idea that was going to happen.
It was the last game of the regular season for West Whitesburg, and head coach William Bowling told Bray to dress in full uniform that night.
My heart just sunk to my stomach. All of a sudden, everyone was screaming, "Go, Bray!" And
he's going to go all the way.
I just got a touchdown and that was awesome.
Touchdown, Whitesburg Yellow Jackets!
it was just amazing. There wasn't many dry eyes in the crowd.
The tears flowed freely in the stands. Even on the sideline, Bray's teammates felt the weight of the moment.
It was really good. Myself was cried. I was so happy for him.
When Bray got on the sideline, everyone was like, "Good job, Bray," and everything, and someone picked him up, and everyone on the team went over there.
For this Little League team, the idea of playing for more than yourself is a concept they already understand.
It makes me remember of Bray and all the kids that have autism.
I think it's going to be life-changing for him. Definitely going to be a moment that he'll never forget, ever.
An unforgettable moment that holds more value than any win on a football field. By a boy whose dreams far exceed that 59-yard touchdown run. Now, the Jackets played in the Letcher County Bowl earlier today, and they beat Jenkins 34-12, and Coach Bowling let Bray call the very last play, which ended up leading to a touchdown. Awesome job, an awesome season by West Whitesburg.
That was good stuff, as always, Lauren. Appreciate that. That was really good. Coming up later on the show, our Sports Overtime Rewind takes us back to 1999 with the Harlan Green Dragons.
Yeah, next up, it's the 2-minute drill as we cap off Week 9 of the high school football season.
My name is Coach Robbie Lucas, Somerset High School, and you're watching the Appalachian Wireless Sports Overtime Saturday night.
District championships decided Friday night all across the high school football landscape.
Yep, Josh McKinney breaks it down in this week's Lee's Famous Recipe, Hazard and Whitesburg 2-minute drill.
Week 9 of the high school football season is also the final week of district play, and Friday night several games were played with the district championship on the line. We begin with our game of the week, number 1 Pulaski County hosting number 3 Southwestern, and the Maroons leaving no doubt as to who the top team in the county is, prompting a running clock in the third quarter, blowing past the defending district champion Warriors 52-6. Up at Putnam Stadium in Ashland, number 2 Johnson Central secured its 4th consecutive Class 4A District 8 title with an 8-7 win over the Tomcats. Gunnar Sloan scored the Golden Eagles' only touchdown, and the ensuing 2-point conversion lifted them to the 1-point win. Speaking of teams from Johnson County, how about number 6 Paintsville? Kent Phelps continued his monster season with 139 yards and 3 touchdowns as the Tigers rolled to their first outright district title since 1994, beating Raceland 50-7. With a win over rival Pineville in the Battle of 119, the Harlan Green Dragons would have won their first district championship since 1999. But the Mountain Lions forced a 3-way tie atop Class A District 7 with a 43-36 thrilling win at home. And how about the Harlan County Black Bears? After a 1-5 start, head coach Eddie Creech has led his team to 3 straight wins, including a win Friday over former head coach Tom Larkey and Perry County Central, securing a home playoff game in Baxter for the first time since 2013. District play is over. 1 week remaining in the regular season to figure out the tiebreakers and finalize seeding. And then the real fun begins in the playoffs. This has been your Lee's Famous Recipe Hazard and Whitesburg 2-minute drill.
What time is it, Lauren?
Big game board time.
Yes, week 10, the final week of the high school football regular season. Our Appalachian Wireless game of the week takes us. It's Pike County Central visits number 8 Pikeville, and Mountain Power rivalry in Pond Creek next week. Number 4 Belfry welcomes in number 2 Johnson Central. The Golden Eagles going for 3 straight wins over the Pirates. The Harlan County Black Bears go for their 4th straight win when they visit Log Mountain. And number 9 Bell County, a border rivalry in Hindman between Knott Central and Allen Central. And then Lawrence County travels to Floyd County to battle the Prestonsburg Black Cats. And another top 10 matchup going on in Robinson Creek. Number 10 Shelby Valley, riding an 8-game win streak, but look who they host. Undefeated, and number 6 Paintsville. Yikes.
Can't wait. Well, coming up next on this edition of the Appalachian Wireless Sports Overtime Saturday night, our next installment of Sports Overtime Rewind.
Yeah, we look back at the 1999 Harlan Green Dragons and their run to the Class A Region 4 final game with Pikeville.
Last night, the Harlan Green Dragons had the chance to outright snag a district title for the first time since 1999. And while there's still a chance they'll come out on top of Class A District 7 this season, back in 1999, there was no doubt the Dragons were the kings of their district. That's tonight's Sports Overtime Rewind. For the Harlan Green Dragon faithful, this current season takes them back to the 1999 team that reached the region final. J.B. Donahue was in his 7th season as Harlan's head coach, and it's also the last time Harlan won a district title. That season began with a 41-point loss to Lawrence County, and while that's not the ideal way to start off the season, the Dragons would rattle off 11 straight wins, leading up to the region final game. Harlan went a perfect 5-0 in Class A District 7, but it wasn't without close games. They eked out back-to-back 1-point victories in the regular season to Williamsburg and Lynn Camp. And speaking of Lynn Camp, the Dragons would meet the Wildcats for a rematch in the second round of the Class A playoffs.
The Lynn Camp Wildcats came to Hazard and left with another playoff win. Could they do the same tonight in Harlan? No hype needed. Let's go to the highlights. Here are the Dragons pumped and ready to go.
In Harlan's 11 wins, their defense was giving up just under 18 points per game because of stops like this.
And the handoff to Quentin Henson. He gets nowhere fast thanks to Brooke Loving.
It was a defensive game early, but the Dragon offense worked itself out.
Ben Smith was banged up. Not too banged up here. Touchdown. Harlan excited. They should be because they hold on to win in a game that a lot of people picked Lynn Camp to win.
That set up for a Harlan-Pikeville Region 4 final matchup.
We will start the night in Class A where Harlan and Pikeville look to end each other's winning streaks. Both teams lost their first games of the season, then won out. Pikeville playing on the road for the first time since October 1st when they played Phelps. They are at the home of the Green Dragons. First quarter, it's Harlan. Gary Greer hands it to Ben Smith. Done it all year long for the Green. Touchdown, 6-0 Harlan. But Pikeville would end Harlan's season tonight as they go on to win this one, 33-12.
The Green Dragons season came to an end on their home turf, but an undefeated district record and a district title has yet to be repeated by any Harlan Independent football team. Jamie Donahue is now in his 23rd year of coaching, and it looks as though Harlan Independent will win the tiebreaker and earn its first district title in 16 years. Well, up next, Jamie will come back on the set with me, and we'll name this week's Play of the Week and preview a few games in the NFL, and we'll show you how 3 ball players from Johnson Central nailed quite an impressive trick shot. That's next.
Time for our Play of the Week. Fairmont State UVA-wise, Daniel Lewis. His pass, oh, well, it's deflected, but it's into the hands of James Cousins. Oh, my goodness. Take another look at this one. You like this?
Slow-mo.
A little slow-mo. Lewis, pass is tipped, and then into Cousins' hands. Thank you for the gift. Wise scores 32 but loses to Fairmont State and stays winless on the season. Congrats, though, to Daniel Lewis and James Cousins, our Play of the Week. Little tip drill there. All right, let's dive into the National Football League now, Week 7.
Yes, let's start with the Tennessee Titans. The Titans will be without rookie quarterback Marcus Mariota tomorrow when they visit the Atlanta Falcons. While head coach Ken Wisenhunt would like to have Mariota on the field, he says it'll be a good opportunity for his rookie QB to watch and learn from the sideline.
You know, he's frustrated because he wants to play. Yeah. So I don't know. You know, he's getting better, and I'm just talking about with the whole process and playing the position. So I don't know if it is, what difference it makes, Jim. We want to get him back on the field as soon as possible. It just won't be this week.
The Cleveland Browns enter Sunday's game with the St. Louis Rams with the worst rush defense in all of the NFL, giving up just less than 150 yards per game. That is not a good sign because rookie running back Todd Gurley on the Rams has averaged more than 152 yards in the last 2 games. Yeah, stopping him will be key for Cleveland on Sunday, definitely.
No, I think, to me, if you want to take that next step and be that, and start, it has to be, it starts with an attitude. You have to want to. I'm not saying that's been missing, but in this game for sure. I mean, if we don't go out there wanting to stop the run and wanting to, you know, to play that street fight with them up front, because that's what they're built to do. That's what they're going to do. Then we'll get embarrassed defending the run.
This is the last time I get to do this full screen of the season. One more Thursday night football game on WYMT. What'd you say?
Take it in. Enjoy the moment.
Thursday night football.
Read it as dramatic as you possibly can.
AFC East Division matchup. It's the Miami Dolphins and the currently unbeaten New England Patriots.
Drama.
Coverage begins at 8 o'clock. Where, Lauren?
Right here.
On WYMT, not CBS. All right, let's move along now. Here we go.
Let's switch gears real quick to the hardwood where we're talking a little basketball.
Talking a little hoops. A few of the Johnson Central Lady Eagles being a little gym rats, you know what I mean? From the other night, this is Bailey Daniel, Jayla Spurlock, and Lauren DeLong. Check it out. A 1, a 2. Oh, no, they don't. Oh, yes, they do. That's pretty good, isn't it?
I live for that reaction. Let's watch it one more time.
I put it in slow-mo this time.
And Jayla's squatting down. She's like, is it in there? Did she get it?
Oh, yeah.
Nailed it.
The reaction. You know, Jayla, I thought she was good enough to hit the full court shot like Kevin Love. Come on now. We got to have a full court. I told them, they tweeted us, both of us in this video. I said, hey, you need me to show up? I can hit the Kevin Love shot. All right. That's that. We go from that to this. Earlier this week, started round ball previews. Jackson City's John Turner decided to play me one-on-one. You don't do that. You don't do that, right, Lauren?
Apparently you don't do that.
All right, so it's 2-0.
You're walking really fast right there.
I know I had to speed this up. Why? Because this is my only missed shot.
We have to fast forward the part that you missed because we got to make the part where you look good here.
Yeah, so remember, it's 2-0. I hit a shot on. Okay, he misses this. You going to do the highlight?
No.
Jamie in the corner. Buckets. It's 4-0. I feel really bad because this isn't Braxton Beverly's gym. I know he's at Hargrave now, but it's be at Perry Central. So now it's 4-0.
So what does it make it? You get it or whatever that
that's
phrase
what he wanted to play. It wasn't my rule, so I was like, all right, bro. 6-0. I got one more point to go.
Obviously, you were very humble about your basketball playing abilities.
That's right. That's right. I'll take on anybody. All right. So how do you think I finish him off?
Probably with a fadeaway near the baseline.
Yeah, you saw this before. It's kind of bad, though. I mean, he said, listen closely what he says.
I don't want to hear what he says.
He said no way. I said yes way, bro.
And then you take your victory lap.
That's right, victory lap. Let's let this play out real quick. I want to enjoy this moment.
You can bask in the glow of this moment. You've been doing it all week.
7-0. I mean, I was in dress shoes. Let's take one last look at the game-winning shot here. Look at this. Watch the pivot foot.
Let me know when it's time for the close.
Oh. Oh. That's dirty. I'm done. I don't even want to read the clip. That wraps up this edition of the Appalachian Wireless Sports Overtime Saturday night. How you like me now? I can ball.
Are you going to finish reading what I wrote?
Next week, Kentucky's back at home against Tennessee.
Yeah, and
Josh,
the most important part is, if you would have kept reading, next week is Halloween.
Oh, yeah, our Halloween show.
Halloween edition next Saturday.
Do not miss that. I think we're dressing up, right?
Maybe.
And we're probably going to do like memes.
Halloween-y themed things.
Okay.
If that's a word. Good night.